So we're gonna get started. I am really excited to talk to you guys tonight about something that I think is incredibly important. Some of you have heard this before. I'm gonna take it a little bit further tonight. We are gonna talk about the power of a dream, and I don't ever get nervous before going live anymore on Online Steps to Success. I used to all the time. I am so nervous because I think mostly because I want you to hear what I'm saying about this. I want you to get it. I want you to understand it because I think that I believe so deeply that it changes businesses. So anyways, I forgot my intro notes. Welcome to Online Steps to Success. My name is Allison Dalkey. I'm glad that you're here. I'm a Scentsy Superstar Director. If we've never met, it is nice to meet you virtually, right? What's happening? So tonight really will be for those of you, honestly, tonight's really for anybody. If you have been doing Scentsy for a long time and you've ever wondered, I don't even really know why I do this, or you have thought to yourself, I used to love this, I don't love it anymore, or maybe it's become more of a burden than a blessing to your family. Maybe it's just that you don't have the passion that you had before. I'm not really sure. Not sure what it is. But whatever it is, whatever reason you're here, however you're feeling about your business, maybe you're the most excited you've ever been, this is still for you. I think the thing missing from our industry as a whole is remembering how to dream. And we're going to talk tonight about dreaming, and I'm going to tell you a lot of my story. I think that you have to hear it to understand where this passion comes from. And I guess maybe that's what makes me the most nervous. Not that I've never told it, because I've told every part of it multiple times, but it still makes you nervous because I want you to hear I don't know. I just want you to hear my heart, I guess. So, if you've ever thought, what the heck am I doing in your business? This is the place for you tonight. Now would be the time to share this with your team, with your teammates. If you have a new person, this is definitely for them. Honestly, part of this was a little bit inspired. Thanks, friend. My friend Brittany just texted me and said my hair's on point. You want to know how I did my hair today? I pulled it back to go to the gym. I don't go to the gym. I go to Pure Barre. But I pulled it back to go to Pure Barre. I did 3.5 hours of laundry at a laundromat today. Yes, I did, friends. And I put on real clothes right before this started and pulled my hair out of that ponytail. I don't know. That's what happened. I did get a good hair gene. I won't try to pretend I don't have one. And I don't have to wash my hair that much. It's dirty. That's why it looks good. Okay. If you've ever wondered what the heck am I doing in this business, this is for you. I am going to swipe away your comments in a minute because I really want to tell this story. I also want to tell you this came today on such an appropriate day. I am so excited about this warmer. I'm so excited about this warmer. Actually, I think we should give one away tonight because I just think you all need one. I'm not going to give one to all of you, but I just think you all need one. So how shall we do it? If you share the video live tonight, maybe with a team member, with a friend, whoever, then you'll go in a drawing for the winner. I can't do comments, that's too much. Yeah, a share. So if you, can I see who shared? Yeah, I can, right? Somebody tell me. I think that I can. Seriously, this is the most appropriate warmer. If I can't see who shared stuff, then somebody tell me right now, but that's what we're going to go with. If you share the video, you get into the drawing for the Dream Big Warmer. We'll give one away. I'll draw tomorrow. Okay? So, there you have it. I just think it's appropriate. So if you watch this anytime between now and, I don't know, Wednesday at noon, then you can get that. All right. So, here we go. We're going to talk about dreaming. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to be ready to open your brain a little bit, to open your heart a little bit. I need you to be ready to think things that you have never thought before. I need you to be ready to be vulnerable with yourself, honest with yourself. I think that's one of the most important things. So we're going to get started. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try to briefly tell you part of my story so you can understand why this is my heartbeat. And then I'm going to tell you how we make it apply to you and how we work it into everything that you're doing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to swipe away your comments tonight for right now because I need to get through this story, and I'm going to try not to cry, and I'm going to try not to get distracted. So you're gone. Oh, it's like I'm all by myself. Not that I want to be by myself. I want to be with you, but you scare me. So here we go. So here's the thing. I think that, like I said before, I think that one of the biggest things we're missing in this industry is the power of dreaming. I think we've forgotten how to do it. I think we're not doing it enough. I think we're becoming all consumed by a brand, and not that I don't want you to be consumed. I want you to love this company. I want you to love our products. I want you to be passionate about what we do. But before any of that happens, I desperately want you to know why you're doing this. I have a new recruit who I sort of peer pressured into joining. She's been on my list for a long time of somebody I wanted on my team. And when the $49 special happened, I just kind of started really pushing. And she signed up on the last day, I think out of peer pressure. But we sat down and I said, look, here's the deal. You can do this and it could change your life, or you can kind of do this and nothing will change. The question becomes, and it's for her and it's for all of you, do you want something to change? Is there something in your life that you want to be different? A situation, a circumstance, a relationship, anything. Is there something that you want to be different? Because if there is, this is the place for you, and this is the company for you, and this is exactly what you need to be doing. But you have to be honest about that. You have to be willing to say that you're willing to work for that. That really is the power of a dream. I knew that in the beginning when I started selling Scentsy. I was young. I was 23 years old. I was teaching 8th grade English, and I loved my job desperately, but I also really wanted to be home with my little girl. She was 9 months old when I found Scentsy, and I was searching for something. I went to school and thought that I was going to be a teacher forever, and then I had a little girl, and everything changed. About the same time, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I didn't get to go to her first chemo treatment because I had to work. I didn't go to a single one of her chemo treatments because I had to work. And I don't have regrets in my life, but that is something I wish I could change. It's something that keeps me moving forward all the time. It's what keeps me passionate about this job I get to do and this job I get to help other women do, because when you grow a business that's profitable, that's efficient, that's successful, you become the power, you become the person in charge of your life, of your freedom, of your time, of your energy. And I didn't have that then. And I desperately wanted it. So I think a combination of not being able to be with my mom in such a hard time in her life, and hating leaving my baby with somebody else every day, even though it was my sister and an amazing, it was actually one of my parents' mom, or one of my kiddos' moms. But still, I wanted to be with her, and I didn't want to miss it. And it's not even that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I didn't know if that's what I wanted, but I wanted more freedom. I wanted to be able to say, I get to choose. I get to choose. So since he came into my life, it was kind of an accident. The first product I ever got was a room spray, and I fell in love with it. No alcohol in it. I had a huge classroom, and I could spray one spray of it, and it would last and last and last. And 8th graders are stinky. I don't know if you've had any experience with them lately, but they don't smell good. They just don't. It's awkward. They're hormonal. They don't know what the heck they're doing. They don't smell good. And I loved our room spray. Well, shortly after I received a room spray, another teacher I worked with brought in a set of basket testers. So it's equivalent of our mini testers now. They were a little bit bigger. They look like lip gloss containers. And I flipped a lid. I loved candles, candle addict, and having these 80 different fragrances, I went crazy. Kept them in my room all day, had all the girls in all my classes smelling. It was like a Scentsy party on my desk. It was fantastic. So I went home with all these fears and doubts in my mind. Natural introvert, never sold anything in my life, don't really like talking to strangers, probably have no ability whatsoever to lead a team, build a team, any of that. All these reasons why I shouldn't have joined. And I just, you know how Scentsy gets sticky in your brain? Like, you just can't stop thinking about it. It's kind of what happened to me. So I start researching everything I can find out about the company. I'm online. I'm reading every article, anything I can find out. And finally, I just kind of stopped and prayed about it and thought, you know what? I feel just like this is something I'm supposed to do. $99. I feel like this is something I'm supposed to do. So I took the plunge and signed up before I even told my husband. And he came home and I was like, so guess what? And I think at the time he was like, okay, do whatever you want. You know, I don't think he thought this is going to be any great thing. He was working in Highline car sales. He was gone a lot, working long hours. And I think he just thought, sure, you do your thing. But there was something in me that desperately wanted something different. We were young. We had bought a house. We had a baby. We had credit card debt. And I didn't want any of that. I wanted the house and the baby and my husband, but I didn't want the credit card debt. I didn't want this inability to be with my mom as she's going through chemo, right? I didn't want any of that. So I desperately wanted things to change. So I decided I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it all the way. How? I don't really know. But I'm going to take what I do know and I'm going to run with it. Funny thing is, I'd actually never seen a warmer when I signed up. I'd seen the catalog, but I had no reference point at all. I'd never seen anything like a Scentsy warmer. And so I thought they were tiny. I thought they were like this big because my only reference point were those little oil things that you put oil in the top of and a tea light underneath, like from the Body Shop. My only reference point. And I was like, when my warmer came in my starter kit, I was even more in love. I was like, oh my gosh, it's big and beautiful and gorgeous. Which is funny now because those warmers weren't even really gorgeous. And now our warmers are gorgeous. So I just put my head down and started working, and I loved what I was doing. I loved it. What I decided was I was going to go with my strengths. My strength, teaching. I really believe I was born to teach. It's one of my spiritual gifts, that and hospitality. So I thought, I'm going to take my two things that I know I can do well. I can host and I can teach, and I'm going to combine those, and that's how I'm going to build my business, period. So I just did everything the new consultant startup guide said to do. Schedule a launch party. Okay, done. So I scheduled a launch party, invited everybody I knew. It said invite everybody you know. Invite everybody I know. Okay. Have a huge launch party. I signed up in November, by the way. Great time to sign up. Not that now isn't. Now is a great time too. But heck, holidays, it was fantastic. Huge launch party. I spilled wax all over my floor. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was willing to try. And I was desperate enough to want something else in my life that I was willing to make a fool of myself doing it. I didn't really care what anybody else thought. And I think part of it was that I was so naive that I didn't know better. I'm also incredibly grateful that social media wasn't around then. Not because I don't think you can, I think it's a great tool and there's so many things, but there wasn't as much of this comparison game. And so I wasn't constantly worried about what everybody was going to think. I think we're more hardwired that way now because of social media. What's everybody going to think? If I say that I'm going to do this and I go after it and I work hard and then it doesn't happen, then what? Then I look like an idiot. No, not exactly. If you say you're going to go after it and you do it, here's the honest truth. If you just keep going, you're going to make it work. You're going to achieve it. And we're going to talk a little bit later. I think that tonight is going to turn into several nights, honestly, because I want to take this dream idea and move it into action and how we make our business different because of the things that we want so desperately in our lives. So, circling back, I started growing my business and it started going really, really well. And I started just sharing with other people. I wasn't trying to recruit people, but I knew I had to build a team. I was looking at the compensation plan saying, okay, I got certified, done. What do I do next? Get to lead. Okay, I have to have somebody underneath me. Okay, got that done. Like, I just was following what it said. I knew I had to build a team. I went to my sister-in-law. She'd had several basket parties for me. And I said, hey, I think you'd be really great at this. Why don't you just do this? And she was like, okay. I think her husband pushed her into it. But she was taking testers to the hospital and collecting orders and bringing them to me. And I was like, why don't you just put the orders in and make the money? So it's not like I was trying to hardcore recruit people. It's just I was sharing this opportunity that I had with other people. And my team began to grow and grow and grow and grow. And I really loved what I did. In the spring, I signed up in November. The following spring, I put my resignation in at my job. Now, my goal was to replace my teaching income with my Cincy income before my last teaching paycheck came, which was in August. I was not doing that in the spring yet, but I knew that I was going to. I just knew it. Again, I don't know if it was just me being naive, but I just knew that that's what I was going to do because my mind was so hard set on that's what was going to happen. So I put my resignation in. I continue growing my business and teaching. My last teaching paycheck comes in August, and my Cincy check that month, almost to the dollar, covered my teaching income. And I thought, okay, here we go. And then life went on, right? I'd reached my first goal. We'd done our thing, and we set our sights on paying off our credit card debt with Cincy. We're growing our family. Now I'm pregnant with another baby and running this business and trying to do all this at the same time and trying to pay off our debt. And I remember when we wrote that check that paid off our credit card debt, and I remember how it felt, and I remember everything about it. And then we just kept going. We started making more money. We bought what we thought was our dream house. We now have 2 babies, and things are just rolling. And eventually my husband walks away from his Highline car sales job, comes home to work with me, later goes into ministry just because he wants to. And it seemed like everything was going perfectly. And what on earth would I have to complain about, right? Everything was going great. Except I had lost some of my fire. And I wrote it off a million times and thought it's nothing, like it'll come back. I don't really know what it is. We were literally, what I would say, living the dream. Cincy had allowed us everything that I had set out to get. Freedom of time, the ability to be home with my kids, the ability to let my husband quit his ridiculous high stress, high hours job to do something he actually wanted to do, buy the house, making more money than we've ever made. And I wasn't happy. And I felt trapped. And what had once been something that I got to do, Cincy, became something that I had to do. And I lost my fire. And life just kept going on. And I didn't really have a choice. It's not like I could walk away. I mean, this was everything. And I didn't really know what it was. I didn't know what was missing. We get pregnant. Well, actually, after baby number 2 in the house, we take on 2 foster babies. And overnight, we go from 2 kids to 4 kids. And life is crazy. And Brian's working in ministry, and I'm running this business and taking care of these babies. But I don't have any passion or fire or purpose. I can't see anything else besides what's right in front of me. And I just can't help but wonder if that's some of you too. That it was there at one time and maybe it's just not anymore. And maybe you wonder, why am I doing this? Things kept moving along. Those babies eventually went back to their mama. We had baby number 3 of our own. And life happened. We bought a different house. What we thought was the dream house. We moved out to 4 acres and space, and we now have 1 girl and 2 boys, and our family is growing, and we take on another foster baby, Alex. And about the same time we get Alex, I go in to have genetic testing done. My mom is a BRCA1 and 2 mutation carrier, which BRCA1 and 2 are known as the breast cancer genes or the ovarian cancer genes. Basically, what they are is a mutation in your genetic makeup that prevents your body from fighting off cancer cells. So in my breast and ovarian tissue, my body lacks the ability to fight cancer cells. Oh, I already told you, dadgummit, I got to the punchline. So I go get tested. My mom carries both genes, which is very... I don't care. I don't know. I feel a lot of pressure.
Why?
But I don't know if that's what I want, but just want you to Okay, sorry. So I go in and get tested. We had been in genetic counseling. It's something we talked about for a long time, and I had 3 babies, and they just thought it was time. So I go in and get tested. Like I said, it's very rare to have both mutations. My test comes back positive for both mutations. And we had just gotten our foster baby about the same time, and I remember thinking to myself, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I'll get on a high-risk screening program. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's going to be fine. And everything was fine. I just kept rolling along. We have this foster baby, but also at the same time, I get a little unsettled. And Brian kind of says to me, I think we need to get away. So we go away for the weekend. He takes me to a little bed and breakfast, and we go, and he's the dreamer. He is the dreamer in our family. And he just starts asking me all these questions, like, what would you do if you could do anything? Where would we go? Would we have more babies? Would this be our family? How would we give more? How would we love more? How would we serve more if we made more money or if we made less? Like, what if we just stopped for a minute living the life that we're living and asked ourselves, what if? What if? And so we kind of spent that weekend dreaming. And that weekend, I would say, was a pivotal point in my business and in my life. And that's the weekend we decided to have another baby. We had Alex at the time, and we kind of made a deal. I said, if we're going to have another biological baby, we have to be okay having 6 kids. Which, hello, I was the person who wanted to. And because Alex had a brother who was with another foster family, and we knew if they ever got adopted, they should be adopted together. And we decided we were going to do that. And so we come home from that trip and are pregnant with Lucy, our bookend baby, and life is going on. But for the first time in a very long time, my brain was working differently. I kind of had this come to Jesus meeting with God about my business where I'd really kind of almost argued, I want to do something that actually matters. I for some reason, I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that people had quit their jobs to stay home with their babies and were making life-changing money, and I wasn't. For whatever reason, I didn't think that was good enough. It didn't feel important enough to me. But it's because of the way I was looking at it. It's the lens that I was seeing it through. I was seeing it as something I had to do, not something I got to do. But when I started dreaming again, and when Brian pushed me into dreaming again, I think I really started to see what could be. And not only what could be for me, but what could be for other people. And I kind of spent a couple years really digging into how do we change that narrative? How do we do this well for a long time? How do we prevent burnout? How do we keep people from being overwhelmed? How do we make sure that Scentsy is a blessing to somebody's life and not a burden? Because sometimes even when it's an income producer for you, the stress or the overwhelm or the lack of direction can be a burden. How do we prevent that? And the more Brian and I dug into our dreams, and the more we dug into this idea that we could use Scentsy as a tool to do anything we wanted, when that really began to sink into my mind, everything changed. And the way that I look at this business and the way that I look at this opportunity changed drastically. We started dreaming about owning more land than our 4 acres, about having a place for people to come and rest and remember who they are. We love to host, and we love having people in our home. And I want the biggest barn that you have ever seen, with the biggest table you've ever seen, and a beautiful kitchen at the end of it, with shelves full of every white dish you could imagine. And I want you to come and eat at my table, and I want you to come and rest, and I want you to come and remember who you are. And we do it here as much as we can, but I want to do it more, and I want to do it bigger. And that barn and that land and that place became my dream. And all the ways that we could use it to give and serve and love other people well became the dream. We also have a dream to travel the world for a year with our kiddos. This dream kind of was born out of that dreaming weekend, and we thought to ourselves, we do this full time. We can work from anywhere in the world. Why would we not take them to sea? Why would we not? Chance of a lifetime. So when Lucy's 6, she's 2, that's our plan, is to pick up and go and show them the world. And that lights me on fire. The opportunity to show my kids how small they are, but also how incredibly important they are to this story. To be able to have people come and rest and heal and eat and remember who they are, that gets me excited. The problem with the way I was working before was I was worried about making it a circle of excellence because it's the next thing. And that was the goal. That was the dream, quote unquote. But it's not really a dream. Because directly, it doesn't really change anybody's life. Not even really mine. And maybe that's where you're at. Are you sitting in a place thinking, I'd love to be a superstar director. I'd love to be a director. I'd love to make this much money. It's kind of uninspiring. A title is a title is a title. The question becomes, what else do you want? What do you want outside of this circle of Scentsy? Because the reality is, and if you're new, I hate to burst your bubble, but it's just, you should know right now. It kind of gets old. Just like any old job, any other thing, no matter how much you love the product, it's the same thing over and over and over again, month after month after month for a decade. And if you don't have a bigger purpose and you don't have a bigger vision for where you're going in your life and why you're doing this in the first place, it's going to be really hard to be your own boss. It's going to be really hard. So, it has to start with a dream. It has to start with something bigger and more beautiful and more abundant than what you have right now. Do you want something different from your life? Do you want something to change? This is the vehicle that can help that happen. But it won't happen on accident. It has to happen from your heart. It has to be something that you intentionally seek out and say, yeah, I do want that. I do want to work towards that. I do want that to be the goal. And then there has to be another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. The crazy thing is, in most of our societies, we've forgotten how to dream. Because the dream is, you go to college, you get a job, you buy a house, you get married, whatever the order is, whatever. And you go and you do your job. And you might get a raise, and you may make a little bit more money. But overall, you're going to get what you get. And sometimes how hard you work doesn't really determine how much money you make. But you, in this industry, in this opportunity that you're sitting in with your Scentsy business, you have the opportunity to change that story. That storyline can look completely different for you. Because you get to say, you know what? The harder I work, the more money I'm going to get paid. If I do the right things, if I run my business the right way, if I work with intention and passion, and I'm honest and open, you have the ability to make exponential income. So why are you just playing around? Why are you just living in same old, same old? You can do something bigger. But I'm betting that maybe you've forgotten how to dream. Maybe that's the biggest problem. In December of 2016, I went in to have a prophylactic bilateral mastectomy. 2016 was a hard year for me because I felt this tension of I needed to do something for my health and for my family, and I needed to fight for something. I told you earlier I'm a BRCA1 and 2 mutation carrier, and For years, I had been on a high-risk screening program, which meant an MRI, an ultrasound, and a mammogram every 6 months. And my team of geneticists and all the techs and everybody that we worked with, literally amazing. But it got really old really fast. I remember laying on an ultrasound bed, having an ultrasound, and a tech, the girl that was doing it, she said, I think I'm just going to go get the doctor real fast. Okay. So he comes in and he goes, I think I'm just going to have one more person come look at this. Okay. And I think that was sort of the beginning for me. Like, am I just going to keep doing this every 6 months and wait till they find something? Or am I going to do something else? My risk of getting breast cancer over my lifetime was upwards of 85%. And it's not the best statistics, honestly. So through a lot of prayer and a lot of research and a lot of things, I decided to have that surgery. That surgery changed my business. It changed me, both physically and emotionally and everything. It changed me from the inside out. Because I had to, for the first time in my life, lay on my back and recover. And there were things I couldn't do. And there were people I had to rely on. But the biggest epiphany for me in all of it is that the world kept turning. It kept going around. Everything kept functioning. My business kept working because I set it up to do that, which is also the beauty of this business. My leaders kept working. Everything kept going. My family kept going. And it made me realize that the world doesn't revolve around me. It doesn't revolve around what I do or don't do in a single day. And it taught me how to give myself so much grace. And in that grace, I think I changed the way I work. It's not a have to. It's not a system. It's a get to. It's a work with a purpose. It's passion. And it's this desperate desire to help other people dream about something that matters. Something more than a title. Something more than a paycheck. I'm not saying paychecks aren't good. They're freaking amazing because they can do so much good in this world. I actually have the stub of my first paycheck. I'm looking at it right now. It's when I got paper checks. It has my name, the address to our first house, and the check date of 12/6/2007 and the amount I got paid. And I keep it up there and I look at it because on it I wrote, outdream yourself. Outdream yourself. You just keep thinking about what you can do bigger, better. It's not about doing more for me. It's about working with more purpose, with more passion, with an end game in mind. And that's what I want it to be about for you. And I'm afraid that so many of you have lost that. That you signed up and you had a really great passion and you had a really great reason and then you lost it. Or you signed up and you loved the business and you loved the product, but you never really defined it for yourself. And so when it got hard and when you got worn out and when you got burdened, it became hard. And it's not a good place to be. But I'm telling you, the way to fix it is to dream again. I think this is something you should do with your spouse. I think this is something you should do vulnerably. And I think it's something that's really hard to do for most people. And the reason I'm preaching it over and over again, the reason it is the heartbeat of my soul, is one of the reasons that I'm changed my business so much this year was to align with my dreams. I had been working, like the goal before had been get to Circle of Excellence. Okay. That didn't really change anything about my business. When I started working from this dream that we had, these dreams that we have, because there's so many, the barn and the land and traveling the world and writing a book, I had to start working differently. So for me, that became, all right, if I want to make more money and we want to buy land and I want this beautiful barn that I'm going to invite all these people to come stay at, I have to make more money. But for me to make more money, I have to help my leaders make more money. And so I left Superstar Director Summit last year with this ridiculously crazy goal to have every leader in my organization paid a title consistently this year. Of course, every one of them that will, try. I have 160 leaders, directors and above in my organization. And the way that I've worked with them this year is completely different than any other way I ever have, because I actually care about their paychecks. I care about the health of their business. I don't want them burned out. I don't want them uninspired. I don't want them feeling like this is a burden. I want their business profitable. I want them making good money. I want them sharing this opportunity. And I want that for you too. And it's not that I didn't care about their paychecks before. I did. It's just I couldn't define what it was that I thought I should be concerned with. And when I started really thinking about my dreams and connecting them to my business, I knew I had to have a healthy organization. I knew I had to have leaders who loved what they did, not just got by or not just, got their 500 in every month and made it work. Like, I wanted them working with purpose, working with passion. And I realized I didn't know a lot of them. And that dream has helped change the way I work my business. And I think that your dreams can help change the way you work your business too. So here's how this works. I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to miss anything. Okay, I'm gonna try to help you dream a little bit tonight. I'm freezing to death though. So we are going to give away that Dream Big Warmer, by the way, if you're just joining us. I think I said anybody that shares the video goes in for the drawing, and I'll draw tomorrow around noon Central Time because it's perfect, and I want you dreaming big. So here's some things I want you to ask yourself. Here's what I don't want you dreaming about. So I want to try to clarify this for you. I don't want you dreaming about being a director. I don't want you dreaming about having a team of 100. I don't even want you dreaming about the beach. I want you dreaming about things bigger than that. Then we're going to take your bigger dreams, connect them to those other Scentsy goals, like a team of 100, becoming a director, going to Mexico for free, those other really amazing Scentsy goals. And we're going to then develop an action plan based on your dream first, your goals that are supporting that, and work towards a profitable and effective business. So when I said earlier that this is going to be a kind of a multiple series online steps to success, it will be. Tonight's part 1. This is the dreaming part. So if your team missed this, have them watch this part. I need them to understand what I mean when I say I need you to dream. Because the goal is not a title. It's not even a paycheck. It's bigger than that. What would you do with $600 a month? What would you do with $1,000 a month? What would you do with $20,000 a month? Those are real things. Those are absolutely achievable things with the business that you currently have in your hands. Those are possibilities, but they're not going to be possibilities unless you boldly and bravely step into this business and step into what you want and you desperately want something to change. If you don't desperately want something to change, nothing's going to change because you're not going to be motivated enough to make it change. If you're okay in your mediocrity, be okay in your mediocrity. But I'd be watching Netflix and not this, honestly, right? You have other things to do. But I bet there's something inside you that burns a little deeper. I bet there's something that your heart wants that you've never gone after. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's travel. Maybe it's something you've always wanted to do. Maybe it's debt. Maybe it's, I think all the time about what would we do if we didn't have a mortgage? What would we do? Oh my gosh, the ways we could give, the ways we could serve. That's where dreaming starts. And it is possible with this business, but you have to believe it. If you don't believe it, I need you to go search out Scentsy people right now. please see the income disclosure statement. I need you to go search them out, because there's so many people doing the things that you want to do, making the money that you could only dream of. And you can have it, but you have to know what the heck you're doing. You have to know why you're doing this. I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to sell some product. It's going to be fine. You might even sell a lot of product. But eventually, you're either going to have to dream, or you're going to get burnt out, or you're just going to fizzle out. You get to pick, though. You get to choose. The question is, are you bold enough? Are you brave enough to open your heart, to start dreaming? Here's some questions you can ask yourself. What dreams did you have as a child that you let go of? What did you love to do, what did you used to love to do that you don't make time for anymore? If you could go anywhere and see anything, where would you go? If money weren't an option, what would you do every day? You didn't have to worry about making money. What would you do every single day? What would you do if you didn't have a mortgage? What would you do if you had more time? Where would you give more? Where would you serve more? Here's the key to the whole thing. You have to stop making Cincy your entire life. You have to have a life first. You have to remember who you are. You have to step into who you are. And you have to let your life drive your business. Let your dreams and your passions and the things that your heart desperately desires be what drives your business. This can be the vehicle to take you wherever you want, but you're the driver. You are the driver, not Cincy. You. It's the car. You're in it. You get to decide where it goes, but it's your choice. Yours. Stop making it your life. Let it be a really, really important part. But if it's your life, you're not going to be able to do this well for a decade or 2 decades or 3 decades or even a little bit amount of time. Not in a way that inspires people, not in a way that makes people look at you and say, yeah, I want to do that too. They're going to look at you and say, you look exhausted, and I would never do that. Stop living like that. Live with purpose and with passion and with dreams, and put yourself in the driver's seat. Even if you've never been there, you get to make the choice. I really, really believe that each of us has something to do in this life that only we can do. I believe that you have something to do that only you can do, because you're the only one with the experiences, with the stories, with the relationships to make it happen. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is for you, but I think a lot of us miss it because we're so busy with our eyes on the wrong prize. Start dreaming again. Set your mind on the things that matter to your heart and connect that to your Cincy business. I want you to work smart. I want you to simplify. I want you to stop watching what everybody else is doing. I want you to do what you know is right. I want you to be you. Put your head down and do really good work. Driven by your dreams, driven by your passions. And remember that as you rise, opposition will try to push you down. Every single time. Every time. It's not a sign for you to stop. It's a sign for you to press forward. Rise anyways. Rise anyway. You can, but it's your choice. Decide what you want to change. Dream really big and go after those dreams. When your dreams come true, and I know that they will, dream again. And don't forget to dream again, because that's the piece that'll tear you down. When you just get into the mediocrity of it, you have to dream again. What a gift you have in your hands. Please use it. Please use it to change your circumstances, somebody else's circumstances, your future. Change your world first and then change somebody else's. That's what I believe the power of a dream can do. And I think you desperately need one. So, here's the next part to this. I'm going to swipe y'all back in. Are you talking to somebody?
Annie came over.
Oh.
She just got done for her night, and she's friends coming in town, but they just let her know that the night will be over 2 hours. So I was like, well, you can come to Online Steps.
Huh. Yeah.
So she's in there.
She not watching Online Steps?
Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
She is watching.
Yeah, she's going to get in trouble. It's my new recruit. I was like, we talking to somebody? Okay. All right, I'm back looking at you guys now. So, I swiped you away. I swiped you back. Ashley, please come give me a big hug. I would love for you to.
I know you wanted me to write down questions, but I didn't.
No, it's fine. I don't need you to. So here's what I want you to understand about what we're doing next. So this is important for you to understand. Watch it again. I probably need to write out those questions for you, those kind of dreaming questions, because I think that's where we don't know where to start. How do I start to dream? What do I start to do? I want you to spend some time dreaming. Hi, Jamie. Jamie, I know she'll say I can. Can I share a little bit of your story? Yeah, I won't get it right, but I am going to. She doesn't care. Jamie Solons is a story director on my team, and she's amazing. And she was on stage at Reunion one year telling fantastic stories about how she signed up because she wanted to buy shoes. What I love about Jamie's story is how much it's changed and how Cincy has become such a driver in her life. And she said, sure. Jamie, I'll probably butcher this story. Jamie has been to Haiti several times on mission trips. She actually just adopted a son from Haiti. But her and Paul have a dream to maybe one day move somewhere and be missionaries. And the crazy and beautiful thing about that is Cincy gets to be the vehicle that helps make that happen. Those are big and beautiful dreams. And they are possible because of the business that you have. I don't know why you think that it can only happen to me or to Jamie or to somebody else. It can happen to you. The only difference is that we decided we wanted something different. You get to make the same decision. You get to decide what you want. Like I said before, if you're brand new, you get to decide how this goes. You work your business, you set a goal, you decide what you want to change in your life, and you use Cincy as the vehicle to make that happen, or you sell some to your friends and family and nothing ever changes. But you choose. Period. So here's where we go from here. I did the action plan workshop with my team this past weekend, and I think it was one of the best things we've ever done. All of that is available in the workstation for you as a leader, as a consultant. Really, really incredible. We're going to walk through it over the next 2 Tuesday nights. The part that I think is missing in that training is this part, the dream. Because it starts with a Cincy goal, and I think you need something bigger than that. I think our businesses are stronger and more fulfilling and more purposeful when you have a dream that you can tie to your business. So I need you to do the dreaming part. I need you to do that hard part. Next week when we meet for Online Steps to Success, we're going to briefly, very quickly talk about the dream. And then we're going to move on into how we use that dream to align with our business and make it change the way that we work. I want you working crazy efficient, crazy effective, super purposeful. I want your business profitable. Those are our main goals with this training. I want you to have a profitable and efficient business that's a blessing to your family, not a burden. And I think that comes with intention. So next week we're going to take the dream and I'm going to teach you how to tie it into your Cincy goal, and then even take that goal and push it into action steps. Action drives out fear. And fear is something we're going to talk about over the next 2 weeks because it's so real. Fear is so real, and it's real for all of us. And I think I've learned and experienced fear so much that I want to make sure we talk about it, that we acknowledge it, and that we learn how to work through it. The great thing about fear is that when we have this big, beautiful dream and we have action to overcome the fear has far less of a fight. So that's what we're going to do next week. We might be able to do all of it next week. I don't think that we will. I want you to come with paper and pen. I want you to come ready to work because we're really going to dig deep. But before that, I want you to ask yourself those questions. I want you to dream again. I want you to think about Scentsy as the vehicle to help you get everything that you want from your business or from your life. Does that make sense? One of the ways that my dreams have changed my business is I want to write a book. And I know you only get to write a book when you've written and 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 written. And I'm not writing right now because of my business. And so I decided that this year I was going to start writing again. And I've had to streamline my business, even in the midst of our craziest ever pickup and drop off schedule with 4 kiddos, where we literally only have from 10 to 2 every day to work. And that's only 3 days a week.
And that's if nobody forgets something that they need brought to school, has to come home early, tummy doesn't feel good.
You know, all the things, moms.
All the things. I mean, it's 3 out of 5 days a week, solid, 10
Yep.
to 2. Yeah.
So it means I had to streamline my business so I could start making that happen.
Yes, Trish, fully devoted.
So that's kind of the
Half
thing.
from church.
That's where we're going next week, is how do we align the dream into the Scentsy goal, and then how do we make the Scentsy goal happen? We're going to talk about the right things you need to be doing. We're going to put an action plan in place. It might, like I said, it might take us 2 weeks to do it, but that's where we're going. So if you have newbies that you want to tune in next week, or anybody that missed it, encourage them to watch this, and because they're just going to build on each other. And we're going to kind of go through step by step, where by the end of March at the latest, I want you to say, I know exactly what I'm doing in my business, exactly why, and you don't have any question about anything. Like, it's a purpose-driven action plan that is fueled by your dreams, and that's the key. So I love you guys something fierce, and I'm so glad you're here.
I have something.
You have something to say? I have no idea what y'all said while I was talking, so I have no idea if you even liked it.
I have something. You were just going to cut me off. You don't know this story yet either.
know this
So
story.
my daughter tonight, we were watching Online Steps from upstairs. So she was the last one to go to bed. Her birthday's tomorrow. We gave her, did you talk about this at all?
No.
Okay, so we gave her a present today. And we were talking about it. And I'd already put the boys down. I put Lucy down. And then we were talking and we're watching Online Steps. And she saw the watch count going up. You know, I think it was up to 100 people or something. And she was like, oh, Mom just is helping so many people. And I said, yeah, baby. And one thing we say with our kids a lot is change the world. Like, we want you to change the world. And that's a big statement to a about to be 11-year-old. And so she kind of looked at me and she was like, Mom's changing the world. And I almost started crying. But I was like, and she goes, but then she kind of stopped me because she looked kind of puzzled. And she goes, I'm not changing the world yet. And I was like, baby, you are changing the world. And she was like, but how? Like, we talk about story all the time. We talk about your story. And she goes, Dad, but my story isn't that great yet. And I said, baby, if you change one person's world, you're changing the world. And you change my world every day. And she was like, I do? And I was like, yeah, Addie, and your story's incredible. And so we just started talking about some of the places she's been and some of the things she's seen. And she helped a kid the other day at her horseback deal, and I was talking about that. And so we were just going on. I was like, Addie, your story's amazing, and you're changing the world every single day. And she just kind of started breathing deeper and felt more whole. I don't know. It was just, but guys, I just wanted to tell you, you're all changing the world every day. Change one person's world that day, and you are changing the world. So look up the butterfly effect. Heidi did a talk on it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Talking about you change one little thing and you change the world. And so anyway, I almost started crying when I was talking to my daughter and I in bed because she's changing the world. But she compared herself to her mom and thought she wasn't. And so don't do that.
That also
Comparison's a
goes
liar.
back.
That's the devil.
It really, really is. I think I've also told you guys very openly that I have really backed away from social media the past 2 months, 2.5 months now, since the beginning of the year, and I just haven't been on the feeds. And it's literally changed a lot for me. It's dropped my anxiety and my fear and my worry way down. And I think a lot of that comes from just wondering if we measure up, wondering how we compare to other people. And I've just stopped watching what everybody else was doing, and I've just started working. And I know where I'm going, and I know what I want, and I know how I want to help other people. And I'm not saying I'm not getting ideas from other people. I am, but I've just made my circle a lot smaller. There's a very, very small group of people now that I am really looking to for guidance and inspiration, because social media is just a lot. It's so much information, but it's too much for me. So it might be something you think about. It might be something you consider doing if those are things you struggle with too. And maybe as we kind of go into really diving into connecting your dream to your Scentsy goal and working that into your action plan over the next couple weeks, maybe that's something we're going to look at. So, all right, I'm going to remind you guys, I literally every time I look at this, it makes me want to cry. I cannot wait to plug it in. It's never going off.
I was trying to think through how we're going to do that. So here's what we're going to do.
I already told them what we're going to do.
No, I know, but I can't write down every one of those names on the shares. There's a lot of shares. So what we'll do, we'll do
I
one of
can
those
print it
random number generators, right? But we'll print it off and then do a random number generator. We'll put how many people
Okay,
shared it,
that's
and then
good,
whatever
yeah.
number pops up, we'll count that many down.
We'll do it live tomorrow.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
We'll probably do it around noon Central. Don't hold us to any time because it's our daughter's birthday. So we're going to give away a Dream Big Warmer, because it's just too appropriate. Like, we don't ever give anything away, but I just feel like we have to. I just feel like you all need one on your desk, or you're somewhere. You just need someone somewhere. So we're going to give this puppy, not this one. I'll order you one and send it to you. We're going to give you a Dream Big Warmer, but we're doing it by people that have shared this video. So we'll do it tomorrow sometime. So if you see this and share it before then you get into it, I guess. So there you have it.
We should maybe shoot a Facebook Live of us taking Addie to her birthday present tomorrow. Have you
Maybe.
talked about that?
No, we're not talking about it.
I was going to tell him.
No, don't tell them.
It'll get around to her
No,
somehow.
don't tell them.
Okay, we won't. We'll tell you tomorrow.
Okay. Well, if you're in Australia or someplace with a different plug than ours, I'll figure it out. I'll bribe someone at Scentsy, or I'll buy one off of somebody else's website and send it to you. How about that?
We have an international, not website.
Yeah, but
to
we
sell,
can't
or
buy.
we
Yeah, we
okay.
can't.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, so if you share and you win, I will get you one.
We'll figure it out.
Or I'll get you something.
What if there's not? Do
you
they
guys
have that
don't
one in
have
their
a
region?
Dream Big one, huh?
But we could ship
I'll
them
get
one
you
and they could use an outlet converter, right?
I mean, they could, but that's kind of a pain.
Okay, we'll see. We'll figure it out. Whoever we draw, we'll contact you if you're international, and we'll figure out if there's another way you want to do it. How about that?
I guess a plug converter. I'll buy you one. Okay. Love you guys. Thanks
Oh,
for
it's creepy.
joining us. It is creepy when we say the same thing at
We
the
say
same
the
time.
same thing.
I felt like my hair was really on point, and then you came in, and my hair doesn't look as good.
Baby, you look hot.
Well, that's what you're supposed to say.
When I didn't know that you changed into this,
Yeah.
and so I saw her like 5 minutes before she went live, and I was putting kids down and all that. And
I
then
totally changed
I
clothes.
pulled it Facebook Live, and I was like, "Dang, girl!"
Hey, girl.
She was wearing like a sweatshirt with a hoodie, which she looks hot in that. But I was like, "Dang!"
I was wearing a
okay.
sweatshirt and a hoodie at the laundromat all day long. But you know what else? My husband bought me a washer and dryer today. Isn't that sweet? I mean, I guess he bought it for me. I don't know.
I did. I don't do a lot of laundry.
He doesn't do
I
any
don't.
laundry. But it's pretty and they're gray. Who would say that washer and dryers are pretty?
They're
Why
really
are you keep watching? Is that Aaron
Aaron's
in the
on
other
my
room?
phone, yeah. So
Okay. I love you guys, really. I hope that you heard my heart tonight. I hope that this is something that you take seriously and something that you'll do. I know that it's hard to dream. But I know that you can. And if you can do this with your spouse or your significant other, I think that's the best way to do it. And one day...
And if you're not married or if you've lost your spouse, I saw some people had said that, find somebody that's your person. You know, you're one that you go to, that you vent to, that you cry to, and have a dreaming. Even if they don't do Scentsy, figure out how they can dream and whatever they do, and you can. And
I don't think everyone are natural. I don't think everybody's a natural dreamer. And I think usually in a couple situation, one person is and one person... Like, one's a more realist and one's usually
yeah.
Sometimes, not always, but so you might need some help dreaming, and if you need it, seek it out.
all right.
Yeah, we're really done now. We'll
Love
see
you
you
guys.
next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, as always. And we'll really see you tomorrow because we're going to give away one of those beautiful warmers. So hope you'll have a fantastic night. Hope you are dreaming already. And we'll talk to you soon.